Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, please do me a favor, smash the like and subscribe button. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite consoles, and that is the Steam Deck. A Steam Deck is a console that I picked up about 3 years ago, and it is still my most played console out of all the consoles that I have. I absolutely love the Steam Deck. I still play my Steam Deck pretty regularly. In fact, last week I ran through Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and now I'm currently running through Monster Hunter Stories 2, a game that I never played before. So getting a JRPG version of Monster Hunter is pretty cool. But I absolutely love the Steam Deck. I mean, I've been trying to talk about this thing every chance I get. I did have a secondary gaming channel where I did a lot of videos and content on the Steam Deck, and I just figured, hey, let's go ahead and do an update video on the main channel with the Steam Deck and how I feel about the Steam Deck and why I still think it's one of the best deals in gaming right now. So much has changed since the Steam Deck has come out. Handheld hybrid consoles that you could dock to a TV and play in handheld mode. Nintendo really kind of broke that into the mainstream. And then Valve came along with the Steam Deck, giving you a PC-like experience in a handheld form at a very valuable price. Even now, the Steam Deck is pretty cheap. You can get the base model, which I have here. The base model, I believe this thing is like $350 to $399. You can actually go online and find deals much cheaper than that. And then, of course, you can get the OLED model, which hits around the 500 mark, 550 mark, which is still relatively cheap compared to a lot of the other consoles out there now. Even the Switch 2, the Switch 2 is about $450, $500. But the thing between the Switch and the Steam Deck is if you buy a Switch 2, then you're only being able to play Switch games. And for a lot of people, that's great. Hey, they just want to pick up their Mario Kart and their Nintendo exclusives, and that's it. But when it comes to the Steam Deck, you have your entire dedicated Steam library attached to the Steam Deck. So that's what I really enjoy. The fact that I have almost 500 games in my Steam library, so I don't need to buy a Steam Deck and then go out and spend another $80 for an exclusive game just to play on the Steam Deck. A lot of people, they buy Nintendo consoles because of the Nintendo IP. I mean, I am still a fan of Nintendo. I still have the Switch 1. I have not felt the need to get a Switch 2 at this point, but the Steam Deck gets a lot of my time still today because I work a lot, so I bring my Steam Deck to work. I sit at my desk when I want to play games on my PC at a higher fidelity, higher frame rate. But what I really like about this thing is I can dock it to the TV behind me. I can dock it to the main TV in the living room downstairs, and I get that console-like experience. Now, yeah, of course, this system does struggle on new release type games. You're not going to play the latest and greatest new stuff that came out in 2025 at 60 frames per second, but I would argue the fact that you're not going to get that with the Switch 2 either. The argument there is if you're buying the Switch 2, you're buying it just for the exclusive content. Really, the Steam Deck is giving you a great value for your money. And when it comes to like past games, this thing is really punching above its weight. And a lot of games in the early 2020s is really running very well on this thing as well. I very rarely ever run into any issues where this thing isn't running well. But like I said, it is 3 years old, so the hardware is getting a little to the dated part, but the value that you're getting is just phenomenal. And like I said, that library on your Steam is great. And also, the one thing I really liked about it is I can play on my computer, and as soon as I get done playing on my computer, my save data goes directly to the cloud. So as soon as I fire this thing up, pick up right where I left off on my PC, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now there's also a lot of dedicated PC handheld. You see the ROG Ally, the Lenovo, and you see that like Microsoft and ROG came out with the ROG Ally X and is hitting $1,000. I got to play that thing at Best Buy the other day for about 15 minutes, and it's great. It runs great. It feels great, but that $1,000 price tag is like, really? And to be honest with you, I'm looking at the Steam Deck, and I had thought about like maybe upgrading. Like, okay, let's go ahead and upgrade to a new handheld. The Lenovo Legion Go S comes with Steam OS on it. So you fire up the Lenovo Legion Go S, and it is essentially a Steam Deck, but it's like $800. Should I retire this thing and get the Legion Go S that has Steam OS, or do I just keep riding this old faithful until the wheels fall? One thing I really enjoy about this is a backlog killer. There's so many games in my backlog. Like I said, I have a library of 500 Steam games. This thing lets me go back and really play my backlog. My Steam Deck is my backlog killer. I go in my Steam Deck to play all the games that I bought when they were on sale, because Steam has the best sales, the winter sale, summer sale, spring sale. There's always sales on Steam. I literally bought 2 games for $6 each last week. I'm talking about Monster Hunter Stories 2 was $6, and I bought Monster Hunter Rise for $6.97. I bought 2 really good games for less than $14. And that's the one thing I really like about Steam, is because you just have a massive value for your money. And this is not me trying to sell you on jumping into the PC ecosystem. I am fully aware that there are people out there. I have friends, very close friends, that will not jump into the PC ecosystem regardless of how cheap it is, how better it is. I highly recommend you guys pick up a Steam Deck, because not only do you get a great value, but it feels like a souped up Nintendo Switch on steroids. And there are a lot of games on PC that are exclusive to PC. People don't think that, right? I see comments all the time. People go, well, what exclusives the PC has that PlayStation doesn't? And there's so many different exclusives. They might not be games that you like, but a lot of these great indie games, they are on PC years before they're even on the home console market. I guess the reason why I'm doing this video is just an update and me just talking about how much I love the Steam Deck still now after many, many years. I just enjoy going back and playing games that are cheap on it and just having fun playing the Steam Deck over and over again. But that's just my thoughts on it. Have you played the Steam Deck? Are you maybe even thinking about possibly getting a Steam Deck? Leave your comments in the comment box below. I'm very curious. And maybe tell me, hey, what are you playing right now? What are some of the games you're playing? What console are you playing? How do you feel about like the new Xbox handheld and the way a lot of these companies are moving toward the hybrid console? It's like Nintendo started a trend, and now I don't think we can go back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you as always. Until next time, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.